Thank you. You are all amazing and disabled. Now before you all go running out of here to move your cars to those awesome up front parking spaces, allow me to explain. You see, you're disabled because you think you have something that's taking you away from what it is that you're capable of doing, but that's a disability because that thing of yours is actually the ultimate gift. And if you can hear what it's telling you to do, you could be certain to experience what so many people are saying they're yearning for: purpose. Now, there are role models out there that are exceptional at this, and as a special education teacher, I get to learn from these incredible 11 to 14-year-olds. And what makes them so amazing is they know it brings them joy, and they're not afraid to act on it. They inspire me, and they validate my decision to become a special ed teacher. They also remind me of how every fulfilling experience I have ever had has been a result of using some aspect of my thing. So today I'm going to share a story based in education, not to suggest another teaching tool, but rather a mindset that anyone who's willing can adopt and achieve from. Because even if your work doesn't take you into a school each day, you all still assume the most significant role that exists, that of a teacher. So, when I was 11 years old, I thought for sure I wanted to go into special effects for movies. But by the time I was 34, that hadn't happened. So one night I decided I was going to create a profile of all the reasons why I believed I had wanted to go into special effects. I wanted to do something creative with a team. I wanted to do something important. I wanted to help offer good feelings to others. And I wanted to feel passion. And when I added all those things up, what they pointed to was special education. What a difference 9 letters made, as well as a really important similarity. You see, as it turns out, I have what some people would consider a disability. Now, you all wouldn't have known that as I've been talking because you couldn't see it. But here's a picture of my feet. And they're what some people said would limit my ability to do things that come easier for those who have 10 toes. But what people didn't take into consideration was that I could overcompensate, that I could overdevelop muscles and new combinations that would actually grant me heightened balance and endurance, which is why I run marathons. And which is why whenever anything painful or frustrating comes my way, I ask this question: so what are you going to do? And it always guides me to innovative ideas. It also led me to this question: so what are you going to do so your students can experience their genius? Which guided me into creating conditions that support my students' unique contributions that go untapped in school because of a focus on a deficiency. And when you focus on a deficiency solely as a problem, you keep it alive, but from only that perspective. And so what becomes really important is when I'm considering those ideas is that as I'm thinking about my students and where it is that they can go, I really need to think about what it is that I can offer them as well. So as I started thinking about this idea with them, with the idea of genius, what came to me was an episode of Seinfeld. Do you remember the one where nothing is working in George's favor? So Jerry tells him, hey, if every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right. And do you remember what George decided to do? He decided he was going to ask a woman out on a date by going up to her and saying, hi, my name is George, I'm unemployed, and I'm living at home with my parents. And sure enough, it worked. Well, this got me thinking, why not offer my students high-level skills rather than just remedial lessons? So that's what I do. I model and teach concepts and methods at the PhD level, like literally. Yeah, I'm studying organizational learning at the doctoral level, and I figured that if ideas based in collaboration, reflection, dialogue, and feedback are truly universal, then age or nothing else should matter. So my students learn leadership principles, business success strategies, neurolinguistic tools, heart-brain-based techniques, strategic coaching skills, and a dash of quantum physics. Now, of course, I offer the curriculum, but most importantly, I bring in I allow them to have space so they can take all this new knowledge, get creative with it in projects that bring in their personal desires. And what we discover is alchemy. The ADHD students have become outstanding presenters because they've learned how to become self-aware so they can channel their energy into being animated and captivating and engage their audience. Students who have writing challenges have become outstanding writers of plays and blogs and graphic novels because they've learned how to focus on complex layers of plot and character development without losing psychic energy on writing conventions, which in the 21st century we have tools for those. Students who have emotional challenges have become outstanding taskmasters and leaders of their peers because they've learned the purpose and meaning of every key feeling that we humans have and how to use them to our benefit. Students who have reading problems have become outstanding problem solvers because of nurturing other perceptual skills. It's like what Steven Spielberg announced recently when he said that it's dyslexia that led him into making movies. It also supports current research that says when we develop a relationship with our brain, we can unlock unlimited potential that's never been seen before. And you know, when I see my students take action on something that's been contained, what I realize is so critical in that process is my full self-acceptance. Because without it, I would project limitation onto them, keeping everyone working within the status quo. But when I take something that was seen as a weakness and re-identify it as a gift, suddenly I see it in a different light. In a moment, I can see how I have something that can serve others in unimaginable ways. And when I raise my standard and act on it, I suddenly see the irony that we really are supposed to get rid of that thing. Because when we do, something life-changing happens in the minds and hearts of everyone involved, which I trust is just the reason for someone here to give it a shot. So to borrow the words of Lincoln, I stepped upon this platform so I may see you and you may see me. And in the arrangement, I got the best of the bargain. And to borrow the philosophy of Socrates, I ask, so what will you decide to show me and why?